6 women in all are suing the Catholic Diocese of Austin. They say they were systematically sexually abused by a priest at St. Thomas More Church in Northwest Austin. And despite telling several different leaders in the church, the priest, known as Father Izzy, was allowed to continue leading the church and was then sent to another church before finally being placed on leave. As we first reported, they filed that lawsuit in November, but it's the church's response since that lawsuit was filed that has them speaking up tonight.
He exerted his power at times and slapped some of us.
Text messages and phone calls at inappropriate hours on inappropriate days.
He put his crotch in our face. He groped us during confession.
They've asked us to conceal their identities to protect their families and themselves. These women are women of faith.
We are a group of women who are very rooted, deeply devoted to our Catholic faith, and this has rocked us.
They are also victims, they say, of a priest known as Father Izzy at St. Thomas More in Northwest Austin. The abuse 6 women claim went on for quite some time.
He did everything from, telling us he loved us, telling us that we were his special pretty friends, telling us that we were his, that we belonged to him. He knew exactly what he was doing when he was grooming each of us.
In the Diocese of Austin's EIM, or Ethics and Integrity Ministries policy, signed by Bishop Joe Vasquez, it addresses abuse against children, the disabled, and elderly, but not against adult women. Still, the women went to several church leaders hoping they'd take action.
There were multiple complaints against him, and that was discussed with us, that we weren't the only ones that had come forward before.
And they waited, yet months after they reported the abuse, Father Izzy was still leading the church.
We were told they were taking care of things, handling it, and so up to that point, we assumed that they were.
It wasn't until they learned Father Izzy had been assigned to yet another church in Brenham that they decided to take legal action as a last resort.
Honestly, we were terrified for other women.
When we initially reported the lawsuit had been filed, a church spokesman for Bishop Joe Vasquez told us, quote, Bishop Vasquez authorized the extension of an invitation to meet with the unnamed plaintiffs. But the women say that meeting never happened.
To have him take a stance that he was going to listen to us and he was going to protect us, and more importantly, protect our families and our faith home. And instead we were met with numerous filings that he wanted to get the case thrown out.
Then this week, emails between lawyers show the bishops opposed the women's request to use Jane Doe and remain anonymous.
This anonymity is here to protect our children. This anonymity is because we love our faith and we want to continue to be practicing Catholics, and we worry what the bishop will do with that.
I've seen cover-up, I have seen victim shaming, and frankly just an avoidance of something that has the potential to do unrepairable damage to the organization.
Marjorie Clifton specializes in corporate communications. She was also raised in the Catholic Church.
The things that they're asking for are really changes in policy and in order to protect others within the organization.
And that's why the victims refuse to be silenced, speaking out, they say, for what's right, as a catalyst for change and reform in a church they still strongly believe in.
This is not reflective of Christ's mission for us, and so we need to stand up against these injustices.
And we reached out to the church for comment tonight. They referred us to their lawyers who could not get back to us by news time. In the studio, Kris Betts, KVUE News.